Hi again then guys, and welcome to the second news roundup video today on the channel. And of course, as I mentioned earlier on in my Gran Turismo trademark leak video, which you should check out if you haven't watched that already, this news is again something which many of you will have seen. In fact, probably far more of you will have seen this than the earlier video. But that is of course that the trailer for Project Cars 3 dropped a few days ago now, probably a week ago, and you could say, well, this is a bit late, what's the point in looking at it now? Well, this basically, once again, as the news roundup always is, for those who maybe missed it, maybe missed some of the details regarding it, for instance, because I do know that some people did see the trailer, but then didn't hear some of the behind-the-scenes stuff. So that is really what I want to get into as well. So first of all, my thoughts on the trailer. I am a more recent adopter of Project Cars. I tried to play the first one ages ago. I thought it was good, but not really my style, since I'm not a wheel user. I get it, but it's not my vibe. I liked it more than Assetto Corsa, and I could certainly feel that it was realistic and had cool physics, but I just didn't get into it. Then the second game, I purchased it, hoped to do videos for it. Again, couldn't really get on with the physics until recently. I tried out some settings and finally got it to work well enough to do videos for. And of course, I've done 2 videos already, the TWR Jaguar and the Turbine Lotus. Check out those reviews if you haven't already. It was a lot of fun to do them, and there's still more to come as well. This trailer is interesting because although it's only the first teaser, in effect, I mean, it's a proper trailer, but it's still kind of a teaser. It doesn't give too much away. It shows some interesting differences, to be sure, compared to the previous 2 games. And one of the most crucial differences, to me at least, is that it has a very drive club kind of vibe to it. Mostly street racing events from the look of it. Doubtless it'll have a lot of tracks as well. I believe the track count has been confirmed at something like 160 or 170 circuits, which is very impressive. The car count is higher as well. I believe the number was in the region of 200, which for a game like that is impressive. They certainly don't have the budget of someone like Gran Turismo or Forza, but the vibe that the trailer gives off did have some people worried. Some of the more hardcore sim racers in particular, understandably so. I am not a super fan of Project Cars, but I could certainly appreciate why those hardcore fans, the existing fans from the first and second game, might have an issue with this. Because for me, that's probably what I feel about, for instance, GT Sport, compared to Gran Turismo 1 through 6. This very different experience geared toward a very different kind of motorsport and competition, with esports being involved like never before. To go from Project Cars 1 then to 2 makes sense. Then go into what this trailer looks like, well, I could see why some people might be worried. It does have a much more street racing kind of vibe, which of course isn't really what Project Cars was all about. For me personally, I'm certainly looking forward to checking it out. And some of the behind-the-scenes stuff sounds pretty cool because apparently the controller experience on the game is the best it's ever been. So they're clearly taking notes from the players who have asked for that, myself included, and they've tried to refine it to, of course, even from a business point of view, make a smarter game. And what I mean by that is, if you only appeal to wheel users, well then you're limiting your audience. If you only appeal to arcade users, or controller users, then of course that's your only audience. If you can do what Gran Turismo and Forza do, which is appeal to both, well, that's just a smarter business move. More people will buy the game. You could say it loses some of its purity, but again, you've got to decide what you want. Do you want to be a pure failure or a broader success? That really is the business decision to make. But overall, I think it's a very interesting looking trailer. I'm certainly keen to see more. I like the transition between the street cars into the race cars, of course with the Corvette C8 in there as well. The graphics look good. Of course, Project Cars isn't quite Gran Turismo Sport when it comes to the graphics, but it is good in its own way, especially given its origins. And it kind of reminded me as well, with the overall, arching theme of Drive Club being on my mind, the modifications happening to the cars reminded me very much so of like Gran Turismo 2. With the race modifications where you'd take in a street car and come out with a race car. That's kind of cool. I like that. It was a cool vibe to have. The physics look interesting, to say the least, from the trailer, so I am pretty keen to see what the game is like. So tell me your thoughts down below. Are you an existing fan? I know that many of you, especially those who are more on the Forza and Gran Turismo end of the spectrum, don't like the physics in the game. I'm not a huge fan of them, but as I said, I did manage to finally get the controller set up to be good enough for me to play, so I'm interested. I certainly plan on getting it. it's actually looking to be a potentially interesting year, you could say, for games. Ride 4, Project Cars 3, the rumoured next Gran Turismo reveal, yet to be seen. And of course, with Turn 10 saying that the next Forza game is going to be something very different, I am secretly hoping for a motorcycle Forza game, but that probably won't happen. So it's looking to shape up to be a pretty interesting year. So as I said, tell me your thoughts down below, and until next time, I'll see you then. But for now, as always, thanks for watching.